right, peoples, let's jump into Cony, Mr. Cony and Mr. Coin. So what happened yesterday? Wow, they had a matching pair, 4.46, dead even. Well, we won the day before because they went down 3.22 and we went down 2.62. And look at this. Look how close they've been on these up days. 4.43 the day before, 4.38. And now they tied here. Another little interesting tidbit, peoples, that is the share count. These went up the same as yesterday. So 175,000 from Tuesday to Wednesday, and another 175 from Wednesday to Thursday. But they did not spend the cash, right? They moved some cash around. We haven't done a synthetic, okay, since 6/24. So what's going on, peoples? Well, they're probably so close to declaration, if they want to pay out, they don't want to put any more money out. The only thing I can see. So here's an interesting little twist. You know, when we went down real low, they sold to 222 when we were around 212. It looks safe, but then again, we moved up 4.46, right? So we're minus 0.73. So let me walk you through that. We look really good because even I was looking pre-market. We're only an hour and a half to go. We're around 62.10. So that looks like we won't. I mean, again, it can run at any point in time, but it doesn't look like we'll run past this guy. And that's the bulk, right? That's out of 28,000, 26,000 is, 90% practically. So we look pretty good to capture, this 9 million. Right now we're at 8130. We'll collect more here because there was time premium. And on this guy, we might break even depending on what we're gonna do, and I'll explain that one to you. So we're trading at 224.14, so we're $1.64 above this. Well, we sold this for 268, right? And we're $1.64 behind it. So we can go up to 22,518, and I'll show you that, how that gets calculated. It's right here, right? We always take the strike price, and then we look back and we say, what did we sell the call for? And then that's how this number is generated. So that's break even. Now understand, break even makes you have to give the money back you collected, right? So we collected 562,800. So if we close at 225.18, we hand them that money back. So if we're somewhere in between, we keep some of it and give them a portion of it back, right? But up to 222.50, we keep it all. So that's one way to kind of understand what these naked weekly calls. You're selling something you don't own, right? Hoping that it stays below the strike price you wrote it at, which is always out of the money, higher than the underlying coin price is. Remember, these are coin options. So they sell this option hoping to harvest that income to pay the yield, right? And then the bonus is the bullish bet, which is what is referred to as a synthetic. That's two option trades paired together, and both of them are bullish bets. You sell a put, and then as you move up, the put just expires worthless, so you collect all of the money you sold it for. And when you first start, if you do it right around the market price, sometimes those are even. You buy the call, you sell the put, and you get no money, but you didn't spend any money. as you get further away, up and down from that strike price, if you're going up, your put decreases and your call increases, so you're making money on both sides of it because you're trying to mimic being long the stock itself. And then this little safety valve, this naked call, even though they call it, again, a covered call strategy, it's not a covered call in the sense that you own the underlying stock. It's just a strategy to kind of throttle. And what happens when you're in a super bullish run up in the underlying stock, then that call that you sold for 5, 10, 8% out of the money becomes like an anchor if you go up 25%, because you got to buy it back. Not only you have to give the money back they gave you, but you double or triple the money back. And that takes some away from the long side, right? But if you're going up 5, 6, 7% a week and you're writing your calls out, you can keep doing that and match the underlying performance. So when people say you're limited to 15%, it's not really true. It just means the underlying in a big, big week will outrun this thing and it'll cost you money to buy the call back, okay? But you do make it over on the synthetic, but you don't make as much as your call. So in a slightly up, a flat, and a slightly down, you're always collecting that income. You just don't want the down to just keep going, because that will cause you NAV erosion, right? And that's why I always say to everybody, please be bullish on the underlying. Don't just go in here and go, I'm going to buy Misty because they've paid the highest yield of any fund the last 3 months. Well, are you bullish on BTC? Do you think it's going to do really well? Because you're foolish to chase a yield if you're not confident in the underlying, right? That's like saying, oh, but I could double my money in yield. Well, yeah, but NAV could go to zero if you picked a horrible stock or you picked a horrible underlying, right? Okay, so I'm not going to belabor that. So we've covered the weeklies and what's going on. Let's touch on holdings. All right, and with the nice move up, look at this, guys. I mean, 98 is still a big number, but we only have 98 million versus just yesterday we had 123 million. So that tells you right there, a 10 to 12 point move constitutes $25 million gain. So 40 points up, we're in the money. We're making money. That 98 million is a gain, right? And you can kind of see that because that's the way it works. Our little chart looks better. It's better than any of the numbers the last 4 days, right? So we just want to slowly move up. So what did we close at? We closed at 2060. What's fair value? 2051. Now, they didn't spend that money, right? We went up 157, we went up 175 yesterday in share count. We went up. So people are buying the fund because anytime you see Cony 19, you know, what's the, look at the weekly. I always keep these updated. So here's the trading range in Cony's entire existence. And it's had 2 periods of time that it went down 18-ish, sub 18. And then both of the times when it went down, the first time it went down there, then it proceeded to go to 30, then it revisited it, and then it went to near 30 again. So this is kind of on the chart, because this is coin, guys, and it doesn't map 100%. But these pullbacks, you know, are typically buying opportunities if you're bullish this environment. So we should collect most of our money. So what does that make us look like in terms of the payment structure? Well, again, I think they're in decent shape, right? So this is not, yeah, we're going to win the 9 million. Well, maybe we win 8.5, 8.6. Let's see. But yeah, for the most part, we're going to keep this money. And then guess what they're going to do today in trading? They're going to roll, right? Because if this guy is going to expire worthless because it's 230 or 232 and we wrote a 237, then what we're going to do is we're going to jump out there, buy it back for 2, 3, 5 cents, and then write whatever we think for next week. And that money will be collected when they go and make their decision Tuesday night for declaration and announce it to us early Wednesday before the market, right? So that's how that works. So I'm going to come out with, even though I'm telling you now on the funds I cover, people have asked me, I want to do all the funds and tell you what I think they're going to pay. I say all the single stock funds. And there's some new ones, Snowy and Airbnb, they're not going to pay. GDX is going to make its first payment. YBIT's going to make its second payment, which I already uploaded the video today. I'm going to give you Misty after Cony and give you GDXY. So anyway, look for that this weekend, probably Saturday morning. And I'll get that out to you good peoples. Okay, so hope that helps. Let me just tell you again on the payment. So I'm sticking around this $1.50 range. I'm trying to keep this yield up. You know, they've got $2.29 total. I mean, they could come in and pay $2, but they also have a $98 million loss, right? I mean, no matter what, it's a $98 million loss on paper, okay? But they only have 719, so they're only 3 weeks away from that guy, right? Let's look on holding. Whoops, where do I have that? I usually have it on my weeklies. I think I looked, and I'm not showing you, but it's 719. You can see, you know, we declare on the 3rd, so then we're only 2 weeks from next Friday, right? So we're only really 3 weeks coming in, so they got to move, but you know, 260, for them, 260 is 35 points. It's not that far away on the 260. Sorry, it's right there, guys. I kept going to the weekly, and it's on my 260 strike. So 719, 21 days, peoples. It expires on a Friday. All right, so that's what I got for you. I think the payment is in this $1.50 range. If they want to be super generous, they could pay $2.20. Do I think they pay $1.50, $1.60? That's what I think. Again, it's my estimate. It could change if people buy in and they sell more than normal on calls next week. You know, I could bump it up some, but that's what I got. Let me let you go. It's long enough. Again, this is Bruce from Targeted Wealth Creation. It's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Have a great day ahead, peoples. Bye.